If you want to grow the size of your network, your reach and your influence, then starting a podcast is the best possible way to go about it. In this short video, some thoughts about the network effect that comes from podcasting, and most importantly, just getting started. I'm Martin Bamford from Bamford Media, and recently I had a catch up with Amyr Rocha Lima, host of the Inside Kingston podcast, and Sharon Sutton, host of the Island Influencers podcast. Now, Amyr started Inside Kingston as a chartered financial planner. It was his way to share stories from local successful business owners. And then more recently, Sharon started Island Influencers. Sharon's a chartered financial planner on the Isle of Man. She's one of our clients here at Bamford Media. And we got together for about an hour or so just to chat about podcasting, about local marketing, about some of the lessons that we've learned from our various experiences with podcasting. So here's a very short part of that conversation where Amyr talks a bit about the network effect from podcasting, how hosting a podcast can help you to extend your reach and your influence, particularly in your local community. We also talk a bit about just getting started, and Amyr talks about the minimum viable product. So a little bit of talk about kit, but really importantly, just pressing record, getting started and getting your podcast out there. So I hope you enjoy this short clip from our conversation.
I'll just answer that question that you mentioned there, Martin, which is sort of the traction. I must say, to kick off the project locally, I struggled a bit. I thought this is going to be easy. I'm going to basically send an email out to 30 people, 30 business owners that either I've called before or that I've bumped into at a network meeting, and they're just going to be all over me. And I'm basically going to put one day a week at one particular time, and they're all just going to go, yeah, sure, I can do Monday at 10:30. Are you kidding? I'll be all over this. And that wasn't how it panned out in reality. It was a lot harder. And for the first 5 guests I've got on the show, I basically walked to their office, and so I was there. They couldn't say, I can't speak with you. And I said, look, this is the idea I've got. And thankfully, those 5 said, yeah, sure, we'll do this. So, after you get 5, you can ask the 5 for referrals. At least 3 of them will give you referrals, which then creates this exponential sort of network effect. And for me now, at just about to launch episode 35, I think it is, and I've got another 5 already pre-recorded, the exponential network effect of people sharing their episode with their network is unreal. So the goal is to start small, because you have to, and then just be able to scale your reach into the community as the podcast scales because of this networking effect. So the podcast now has a presence on LinkedIn through a formal page. It has a presence on Instagram through a formal page. I post out on Twitter. Granted, Twitter is more of a financial advisor play rather than a community building play, but nonetheless, it's still there. But I didn't start by doing all that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I didn't start with the finished product. And I've got nowhere near the finished product at the moment. I really, really started with a minimal viable product. And I mean, this headset I'm wearing now is just the Apple headset that comes with the iPhone. And it really, as a minimal viable product, doesn't need to be any more than this in terms of a quote unquote recording equipment, right? And I know, Martin, you've explored this a lot further in terms of professionalizing this. You've written a really good blog that shares some of the hardware people should consider. But if they just want to start, they really don't need anything more than an iPhone and the actual headphones that come with the iPhone.
No, that's a brilliant point. And I know over the last 5-6 years of doing this, I've gone down so many rabbit holes in terms of the kit and trying to get the perfect sound quality. I've probably spent thousands of pounds on different amplifiers, microphones, mixers, etc. To settle on a system that I now use, and the one I recommended to Sharon, I think you were using too. So a headset, a broadcast quality headset, and these are the type that they use when they're commentating at cricket matches and football games. So it cuts out a lot of the background noise, which is fantastic. It keeps the microphone a fixed position from your mouth. So if you're interviewing a guest who isn't used to being on mic and they're not constantly turning their head away and looking elsewhere and the sound going all over the place, it's brilliant. And then a very simple interface, it's called the Focusrite Scarlett, which has got very clean and powerful preamps in it. So the sound quality is just lovely. But I make use of this for podcasting. I'm using it now for Zoom calls. It's got multiple purposes. When I'm presenting webinars, I can use the same bit of kit. So it doesn't have to be expensive. I think we're talking about £90 for the interface, £180 for the headset for each of those, and you can scale it it up so you can have 4 of those if you wanted to, with guests and things around a table. Of course, we're not doing stuff around a table anymore. We're doing stuff over Zoom. But in terms of starting, as you say, minimal viable products, nothing is stopping anyone from having a Zoom call and recording, pressing record. That's your podcast. It's that simple. Thank you for watching that video. I hope you found it useful. So network effect from podcasting, starting a podcast is a fantastic way to get a foot in the door, to extend your reach and your influence in your network, particularly in your local area, and also just getting started, having that minimum viable product. Podcasting does not have to include and involve expensive, complicated kit. It can be as simple as you make it. But the important thing is to just press record, worry about the details later, and there's plenty of businesses, including ours here at Bamford Media, that can help you with editing, with production, and with the publication and promotion of your podcast once you've got it recorded. So do speak to us if you're interested in podcasting, particularly if you're a financial planner. We love helping financial planners with their podcasts, and we love helping financial planners to grow their networks and grow their reach and their influence. Do press the subscribe button, comment as well, let me know what you thought about that bit of conversation, and press the like button too. It all helps us to grow our subscribers here on YouTube and on the various platforms we use. Thank you for watching. I'm Martin Bamford from Bamford Media. Until next time, goodbye.